Well, some of us had to wait for a little while to get that snow, but once we did, we got a good batch of snow here and tons of snow across the state of North Carolina. But now that the snow has moved out, dangerously cold temperatures and slick and snow-covered roads, I'll let you know when we'll finally see warmer temperatures this week.
Plus, a man rushes to help rescue a boy who fell through an icy pond in Cary, only to need saving himself. We talk with him about why he didn't hesitate to go into that freezing water. And roads are messy around the area. We'll take you around Wake County to show you what spots are the slickest. WRAL News at 6 is next. We'll take a look around the triangle tonight, and all you will see is snow. Everybody emerged from this storm into a snow lover's paradise. The only question is, how much did you get? Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Eric Miller. We have live team coverage for you tonight. We'll take a look at how the roads are faring, plus check in on the dangerous side of this storm after 2 people fell through the ice, sending both to the hospital. But first, let's get to meteorologist Grant Skinner here, keeping an eye on temperatures out there right now. Grant.
Yeah, very cold temperatures across the area. I've been watching our viewer photos as well. Again, temperatures right now have dropped off significantly. You can see from Farron Walker out of Nashville, awesome view there of a snowman with the family. Love to see that. Also out of Clayton, you can see they had to report about 4.5 inches of snow there. Betty sent that in from Clayton. And then Brinson Jones, our own Brinson Jones out of NC State campus, sending this awesome photo. Nice snow-covered landscape there and some of the trees as well. So how much snow did you get? Well, overall, most places across North Carolina, 6 to 12 inches of snow. You can see this area in light blue here of around 2 to 6 inches. Yeah, those folks that all of us here in the Raleigh down through Fayetteville that saw less snow for a good period of time. But we finally got a good batch late in the day and then into early this morning. And then those areas in blue, especially at the coastline, some pretty significant amounts, 12 plus inches, some areas around 15 inches of snow at the immediate coastline. The area of low pressure now moves out, and with that, cold temperatures build in. High pressure builds in over the area into the start of this week. So take a look at this. Into the overnight hours, temperatures drop to the low 20s into midnight, mid to upper teens into the morning hours tomorrow, with wind chill values sitting in the single digits. Very, very cold. A cold weather advisory is in place from 7 p.m. this evening all the way through 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll talk about how long this cold weather lasts, keeping those roads slick, and then we'll talk more about when you expect your next rain chance. That's coming up.
Grant, thank you. For the second time this weekend, Wake County emergency crews had to rescue someone from an icy pond, this time in Cary. A boy fell through the ice and then a man fell through afterwards, trying to rescue him. Fortunately, they're both doing okay tonight. WRAL's Heidi Kirk joins us live from the neighborhood where this happened. Heidi, you talked with the man who rushed in to rescue that boy.
Well, and Eric, it really is a miracle how this all played out. Now, I am standing at the pond right here behind me where all of that happened. In fact, you can really see the area where that young boy and then the man fell into the water. That's that big hole that you're staring at right there. And this pond is one of the many reasons that people really love this neighborhood. Spots, it's not enough to support a person. Now, you can really see here, if you take a look at this video, the area, again, where they fell right through the surface. Now, Craig Nashin is the man who actually jumped in trying to save him. He says his stepson first alerted him that the boy fell into the water after hearing a large cracking noise. Now, he rushed over to save him, crawling out onto the ice himself before he says it cracked and he fell straight into the water. Now, they were both in the water for less than 5 minutes before emergency responders got there.
I couldn't get him out. I mean, I tried like 3 times and he couldn't get out. And so I was trying to take advice. I was telling him to stay calm because I was starting to panic, and I was like, stay calm, stay calm. And then we started hearing the EMTs and the ambulance come. As soon as I heard that, man, it was like, you hear them all the time and you appreciate everything they do. But when you're on this side of it, man, it's like on a whole nother level. I mean,
And we also talked off camera to the boy's family who fell into the water. They say this is definitely a lesson learned, and he, of course, is doing okay tonight, just shaken up. Now, emergency responders will tell you over and over, this really is a lesson learned here and a good teaching lesson for kids who might want to go out onto an icy surface like this. It can definitely look a lot thicker and stronger than it is. Coming up tonight at 10 and 11, we're going to break down more of that message. And of course, you'll hear more from the man who ran down here to save that little boy. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Heidi, just extraordinary as always. And of course, it only takes a couple of minutes before you can have some really serious medical conditions in situations like that. Well, neighborhoods, back roads, and schools are covered in snow. This right here, this is from Aversboro Elementary in Garner. Snow covering everything inside out there. It's why Wake County schools will be closed tomorrow. Many other districts are making the same call. That includes Johnston, Chatham, and Nash counties. We have a full list of closures running at the bottom of your screen and on our website. All right, let's get a live look at those road conditions now. This is I-440 near Glenwood Avenue. You see a pretty easy drive at this point for people out there. Those clear conditions, though, we are not seeing those everywhere. WRAL's Kirsten Clark joins us live tonight on Hodge Road in Knightdale. Kirsten, part of that road was impassable this morning.
Eric, Hodge Road here has opened back up this morning. It was actually closed, and the Department of Transportation confirmed it was because of a crash. But you can see conditions here are still just treacherous with the amount of ice and snow still on the road. Take a look at this video showing more of this ice and snow on other stretches of the road here on Hodge Road. You can see some drivers are braving the conditions. Even parts where the snow was cleared or melted, there is still slush or water left behind. And with highs today barely reaching freezing, this made for slick, icy spots. As you heard, Grant is forecasting overnight temps to potentially drop to the single digits, causing any snow and ice here to refreeze. It's a major hazard for anyone out here tonight or in the morning. Department of Transportation spokesperson Kim Diener says the sun and wind helped crews clear interstates and primary routes today, but there's still more work to do.
We are trying to clear as fast as we can. This is the second storm in a row, so this has been a marathon for our crews, and they're working hard. And even if you're sitting at your house and your road doesn't look good, that doesn't mean that's going to be the case tomorrow.
Diener says for Hodge Road specifically, that crash delayed crews in clearing it. It is considered a primary or secondary road, and it will be one of the first places to be cleared tomorrow. Now, of course, we will continue monitoring conditions here on Hodge Road and across our area. It is best if you can to just stay inside and off the road. It is just not safe. Live in Knightdale, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
And to give you an idea how rough conditions are in some spots, even a snowplow got stuck out there. This happened in Halifax County here this afternoon, just completely across the road. Elizabeth Holmes is keeping an eye on those road conditions from the WRAL Live Center for us tonight. Elizabeth.
Eric, the good news is that we're not really seeing too many backups, crashes, or delays. This is a live look now from I-40 at Wade Avenue. If you look really closely, you can see some utility vehicles there on site. We also just saw the same thing off of I-85 in Durham County. This is at Club Boulevard. So again, conditions looking good on most of the main interstates. That is not the case, though, over here. This is a live picture from US 70 bypass. This is right outside of Goldsboro. If you look really closely, you can still see some patchy spots of ice and snow there on the roads. Now, we did see some crews just a few minutes ago coming through here, clearing some of that. Thankfully, we're not seeing too many drivers out on this road, as it could remain a pretty treacherous drive into tonight and then early tomorrow morning, Eric.
Oof, Elizabeth, thank you. Duke Energy officials say tomorrow morning could bring the highest energy demand of the season as extreme cold settles in across the region. The combination of bitter cold temperatures and heavy morning heating demand is creating a brief but critical window. The utility is asking customers to cut back on electricity use between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m. to help prevent strain on the grid.
Maximize every resource we have is we are asking customers to help us during that 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. time frame to help reduce some of their energy use, share that electricity with everyone to make sure that we can reliably serve the whole system.
The crews have been working through scattered wind-related outages in mountain and coastal areas, but the main concern is system-wide usage tomorrow morning. Officials say even small steps like delaying appliance use or lowering thermostats ever so slightly could help avoid temporary rolling outages. Well, DOT crews are working to clear the snow off major routes, particularly in our coastal communities. From the Outer Banks to the southern beaches, communities out there saw double-digit snow totals. The goal is to complete that work on major routes by the end of today. Tomorrow, crews will then turn their attention to heavily traveled secondary roads like US 70. A DOT spokesperson says the concern is anything that melts today could refreeze overnight.
So that early morning time, that is very important that we keep traffic off these roads and bridges because they will refreeze. It will lead to accidents. So again, putting out the message to stay home until we can get these routes in a good condition.
Rhett Gerald there says it could take crews several days to get many of the roads in safe driving conditions. And those conditions along the coast, well, they did more than dump snow. They also claimed yet another home on the Outer Banks. That house came down overnight. We've now seen 28 homes crumble along the coastline since 2020. Coastal erosion and rough surf conditions have torn apart much of the vacation paradise out there. In the eastern part of our viewing area, Fayetteville was rendered nearly unrecognizable this morning. Drone 5 captured conditions with snow blanketing everything in sight. The city saw several inches yesterday. People in Rocky Mount saw, well, even more than that. They saw 7 inches of snow over the weekend. The city hasn't had that much snowfall in more than a decade. Like many areas, main roads rather, appear to be clear at this point, but plenty of back roads are still covered in snow and ice. On the left side of your screen, you can see drone video showing frozen parts of the Tar River. Well, still ahead, perfect for sledding. It may not be great snowman snow out there, but it's definitely made for speed. We'll take you to some of the most popular spots in our area where folks were on the downhill slide. And later, for the dogs, why four-legged friends are just loving those outdoors right now. Welcome back. We've seen so many people across the Triangle enjoying this weather, and one way they're doing it, you see it right there, sledding. WRAL's Caroline Yaffa was at Dix Park and was able to give it a try herself.
So we're actually at Dix Park right now. We're watching some sledding. People are enjoying the outside with this puffy, fluffy snow. And we have a sledder right here who is having so much fun with his friends. Tell us who you are and why you're here.
My name's Franklin. I just love being outside. I feel like you don't have to, be a kid to enjoy some winter weather, especially for being from North Carolina, because this happens like once or twice a year if we're lucky. So gotta get out here.
And it's different than the ice that we saw last weekend, right? So this is more fun and so many more people are here. We were here last weekend and there weren't that many people.
Yeah, I feel like it's more predictable, at least with sledding, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but the roads seem a little bit better, so you can get around a little easier, so that's nice too.
How do you feel being out here? Is it so much fun being with your friends? It's a good bonding thing.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Like I said, you only get out here once or twice a year, so we woke up early to get out here, earlier than we normally do, so yeah.
What could you give advice for someone who's been down these sledding hills? We saw Franklin do some sledding before this. What advice do you have for people to stay safe and make sure everybody is having fun and being safe?
Yeah, look out for kids below, and if you're coming up on a kid or anybody, really just make sure to yell out for safety.
Awesome. So Franklin is letting me go sledding, so I'm going to give this mic to my photographer Josie, and we're going to go sled.
All right, when the sun came up and the snow was gone, people wasted no time hitting the slopes out in Holly Springs. The slopes, of course, a golf course there. This driving range was filled with families hopping on sleds. Kids took turns out there for hours.
3 inches. And it's so thick. It makes me sled about 100 yards. This is probably the much snow as we could get. Like, look how much snow there is. Look how much snow.
Are you ready? Oh, some memories there. Those kids, those families, definitely never gonna forget. Even WRAL's Kat Campbell couldn't help but get in on the action. Of course, Kat, a huge snow lover. This is video from Kat riding down the slopes at Bond Park over there in Cary. As you can see, she had plenty of company out there on the slopes. Is that a boogie board? Am I seeing that right?
I think so. That's awesome. No. And we have multiple angles too. Like we had someone going down while she was going down, so we get a cool shot of her going. Loved that. Love the photography.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was out there like today over in downtown Raleigh, and I got to say, I love the creativity this time of year. Folks finding literally anything they can get on to try to ride down those slopes.
Yep, and I love the creativity of all the snowmen. We gotta show you this photo. This is from Melissa Proctor out of Wilson. She has a Will Wade sign there, of course, NC State basketball fans. I'm sure you'll love to see this snowman. Wonderful shot here, and I love to see all the snowmen, all the great pictures you're sending in, so keep sending them to WRAL.com/report it. We cannot get enough of them. This is from Sarah Cooley. Her pup, not so excited about the snow, but nevertheless still got outside today. And Brianna Gillespie out of Dunn sending her kid enjoying that snow. Looks awesome. Great to see all that snow out there today. You could see on visible satellite the overall system moving offshore earlier today, and I have it stopping at around noon because you can see all the snowpack from Georgia all the way through South Carolina to North Carolina and up north as well. Quite the broad system bringing snow to a lot of the East Coast. So after the storm moves out, of course, it's now moved offshore. We now still have to deal with slick and snow-covered roads, and it's mainly because temperatures are still frigid. We barely got to around freezing today, and we'll have single-digit wind chills through tomorrow morning with temperatures sitting in the teens. We have a winter weather advisory in place for our entire area, not for more snow, but because we already have slick and snow-covered roads. That's going to make it hard for traveling all the way through the rest of today and through tomorrow morning. So just please, if you have to be out and about, please use caution because it is still pretty slick out there, especially those spots that are less traveled. A cold weather advisory is in place from the Triad all the way through our area into the north and east for those frigid temperatures, single-digit wind chills. We have extreme cold warnings to our south and east, closer to Wilmington. They'll have wind chills close to 0 degrees. So very cold across the area. Here's midnight tonight. You can see wind chills in the low teens, maybe some spots in the upper single digits. But by tomorrow morning, we drop to the single digits across the entire area for our wind chill. So it's going to be very frigid. If you have to be outside, multiple layers, gloves, hats, everything will be needed. The good news is we get more sunshine and warmer temperatures tomorrow. So that's going to help to speed up some of that melting across much of the area. Now, shady spots are still going to take some time, but getting up to 40 degrees is certainly going to be a big help. Plenty of sunshine all the way through the day, and then clear skies late in the day. We'll finally drop back to the upper 20s by 8 p.m. Still cold overnight Monday into Tuesday morning. Watching our next weather maker, it's an area of low pressure with a cold front associated with that. Some isolated showers possible late Tuesday and into Wednesday morning. Mainly looking at rain here. Most of that wintry precip staying to our north, drier and cold to end this week as well. So the cold sticks around all the way through this week. Fortunately, the highs in the afternoon will be warmer. Those mid-40s are going to be helping with our melting process. 20s and 30s, though, for our lows overnight. So staying cold during the overnights, but that's going to take a little bit of time after Monday to get some more melting across the area, but a good bit of snow across the region. So we'll need some significant melting.
Absolutely. Grant, thank you very much. Well, speaking of snow and ice, Pat, we got to talk about the Canes here.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically we're a hockey market. Now we've got the weather to match, and Canes fans were traversing the cold and snowy weather to get to Lenovo Center. And I'll tell you, once they got there, they got rewarded. I'll tell you how they outlasted the LA Kings next. Winter weather technically is hockey weather, and it didn't stop Caniacs from coming to the game today. Now, the TV crew was another story. The production truck couldn't make it from Charlotte, so they got one from Pittsburgh. The LA Kings and Canes actually did a joint broadcast on TV, so making it work. Cold outside, Andrei Svechnikov red hot in 10 goals, 19 points in January, single-month career highs. First period, Jordan Stahl catching fire as well. Off the faceoff, Stahl the goal here, 13th of the year, matches last season's total. And shout out to Martha Jennings, our managing editor, who captured the goal with her kids. Canes all over the net in the third period, still 1-0, 7 minutes left. It's Alexander Nikishin. What a shot from the rookie. Now, LA would answer less than 30 seconds later. Then it's Quentin Byfield tying the game with 3 minutes to go. So we go to OT. And you got Seth Jarvis here kind of getting sandwiched along the boards, but that creates space for Sebastian Aho. Toe drag and in. Canes win a thriller 3-2 in OT. The Duke women started the season ranked 7th. Then they quickly fell out of the rankings after a 4-6 start. But they are back in the top 25 and climbing after winning 13 straight. Winter weather affecting this broadcast as well. The play-by-play done remotely. Jen Hildreth and Kelly Gramlich couldn't make it, but Wake Forest did, and Duke was wasting no time getting the ball inside to Toby Fournier. She had 14 points. Still first quarter, and Jordan Wood turns down the screen here, and she goes clear path to the basket. Duke by 12 after one. They blow out Wake Forest, Eric, 80-44.
Pat, thank you very much. And